so glad you're here. Welcome to the 115th solo episode. This space is for you, for the one who's been through so much and is still choosing to show up. I'm Esther Buerki, author of Living Without Fear and co-creator of the Amazon bestseller Inspired Journeys. You might be going through something or simply needing a moment to pause, to breathe, to feel seen. Whatever brought you here, I'm honored to be with you. If today's episode speaks to you or brings someone to mind, please pass it on. Let's keep spreading light. And if you want to stay close, subscribe to my newsletter or connect with me on YouTube. Your presence, your heart, your time, they mean the world to me. Thank you for being here. And today, I'd like to give you some guidance how to work on your fears and insecurities. Living without fear and insecurities is not possible. When I chose this title for this podcast and also for my book 4 years ago, I saw this differently. Today, I'd rather choose living with less fear or how to let go of your fears or how to become more courageous or how to gain more certainty. But as a concept to start with, living without fear is still a perfect starting point for me and maybe also for you. It is very possible that you begin with working on one of your biggest fears, and during the time working on it, you realize there are other fears popping up you didn't know until then. This is totally human. And we are not alone in this. We are experiencing the same thing. So, let me help you to overcome one of your fears. Is it the fear of the steep slope while skiing? The fear of falling down instead of standing on your skis and moving slowly down the hill or the mountain? The other day, I was coaching someone with this exact fear. And you know what happened? At the end of the session, she felt great and she was certain that this fear won't creep in again while skiing. Of course, she has to test it, and it is possible that she needs another session to make it stick. But what was obvious was that she moved in a good direction. And what I want to add here, an important learning, I needed to make it enter my thought patterns a few years ago. Do something over and over again until it sticks. You can use this with everything you want to change. Change only happens when you allow yourself to exercise over and over again. In the past, I thought, I'm smart enough to understand it right away, and I don't need to repeat the exercises my coach gave to me. But I proved myself something else. Today, I'm so grateful that I'm able to guide myself by saying, Esther, the first time you do this, you suck, but I know you'll try again and you'll become better and better. Are you with me? Will you give yourself grace the next time and not blame yourself instead? I really hope so. So let's come back to the fears and insecurities. Choose one thing you'd like to change. For example, I choose the fear of not being good enough as a coach. I sometimes feel insecure and I ask myself the question, Esther, who are you that you think you can help others with their fears? I just finished an amazing Tony Robbins event called Leadership Academy. Tony Robbins coaches there a woman who feels suicidal, and it reminded me my story when I'd rather prefer to die instead of living and suffering. What I didn't know back then was that I constructed my own suffering. But what I want to tell you now is what I learned from Tony Robbins' intervention last week. At a certain moment, he put his hat on this woman's head and tells her that she will be now Tony and he will be her. He is now as desperate as she was before, and he asks her what to do, the same way she did it with him. First, she seems overwhelmed and she doesn't know what to say. She shrinks her shoulders and pauses. But then a smile appears on her face and she starts talking like Tony. She and also the audience and I are very surprised what insightful advice comes out of her mouth. How on earth is this possible? Before, she was this desperate human being, and some seconds later, she is a smart coach who finds beautiful answers to the desperate questions asked this time by Tony. Why do I tell you this? Because what I learned is when you don't know what to do, that's when you know exactly what to do. You have all the resources you need within you, and you can overcome anything, or in my case, I will find all the necessary words and tools to work as a coach with my client. I have already everything within me. I only need to trust myself and practice as much as I can. By practicing, I become better and better. So can you in the situation you feel fearful or you feel insecure. You have everything within you. You only need to trust yourself. And why is it that we don't trust ourselves? We tell ourselves, and I'm included in this, our parents couldn't provide us with a healthy way of believing in ourselves because they didn't get it from their parents, and they installed a lot of their fears and insecurities in us. Yes, of course, but they aren't to blame. Generations and generations before us didn't feel courageous. Fear has been the predominant feeling. They didn't have enough self-awareness to teach themselves something else. So, who needs to start? You need to start. You need to break this pattern. And you start by trusting in yourself, even if it seems hard and even if you don't know what to do or say. You've got all within you. Tell it yourself over and over again. I have all I need within me. I have all I need within me. Don't you think you act differently when you tell yourself this sentence? Don't you think you feel differently when you encourage yourself over and over again? And if your critical voice comes up again, say, "Thank you for being here. But I want to listen to my other voice who tells me again and again, you have everything you need within you. Just trust yourself. Trust the process. Believe me, you can be more powerful than you think. You can be more courageous than you were in the past. You can create a life with less fear and insecurities by working with your inner voice who tells you to trust in yourself. You don't need someone external. Of course, this can help. But imagine this person isn't with you anymore. What do? Your inner critic will creep into your head and you're lost and desperate again. Do you want this to continue? Yes? No. So write down the sentences you need when you lose courage or when you feel insecure and you want to walk away from a certain situation. What do you need to tell you over and over again? Write it down in your journal. Put it on a post-it note and stick it to your mirror. Repeat it to yourself when you wake up and when you go to bed. Be the strong person you needed the most in your past. And if you need help with this process, let me know. I'm very grateful to guide you because I know myself it is important to have a coach who takes you by the hand when you start your uncomfortable steps into a new future. Also, if this episode touched you, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts on Instagram, YouTube, or per email. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me. You're amazing, and you're a gift to everyone who crosses your path. If no one has told you this today, let me say it. You're worthy, you deserve to be loved, and you matter. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next week.